everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, took a few days off. Sorry about that. Today's finance and fitness, kind of like a little snippet that we'll talk about is brought to you by Easter Sunday. Have a great, happy Easter Sunday if you celebrate Easter. If not, just enjoy your Sunday. Okay, so today I was going out for a walk, and today's fitness tip, simple, super simple. Again, I love walking, right? Walking reinforces posture, driving with your hips, low-level grade cardio. That is an active lifestyle that will help you actually lower your blood pressure, help lower cholesterol, give you some endurance activities. But the big thing is I do it is for stress management, right? I like to walk and listen to podcasts, something that have education or inspiration or motivation or all of it, right? A lot of people listen to music, and that's fine if you enjoy the songs and music. I love music too, but I don't want to listen to the same song over and over. I want to make sure I spend that time wisely, learning something maybe new or reinforcing proper postures or habits. So my favorite thing is cardio, is walking. Now, if you're a general health fitness person that needs to blow off some stress or just get some cardiovascular benefit and activity, nothing beats walking. Seriously, it's easy. You can do it anywhere, equipment free. If you're a strength trainer like me and you want to really ramp it up, add a weighted vest or a carry or a ruck. I have a 50-pound vest that I use. Not all the time. I'm starting to get back into it. But just walking, just be physically active. If you're an athlete, obviously walking is not enough. Walking, I recommend 30 to 60 minutes of activity. The lower the level, the intensity, the longer the duration of activity, right? So that's where the step counter count came in. 10,000 steps a day, about roughly 3 miles. Now again, for the average person, that's great. For me, I'm a strength trainer focusing on max strength. I get a secondary benefit of cardio from circuit training and strength training, but I love the stress release of walking, getting outside, fresh air, vitamin D, okay, and the time with myself to either walk through nature, kind of just enjoy the sights and the smells of nature, or motivation, education, inspiration. And I think the average person needs that. Get out of their house, walk, blow off some stress, and just get some low-level activity. Because remember, movement is medicine, not training all the time. In a world where we're working full-time, sometimes two jobs a week, and we're addicted to TV and social media and crap food, that's a great way to kind of like disconnect. Number two, again, low-level grade exercise. So do me a favor, when you get a chance to walk, right? Try to get 10 minutes at a clip after eating, or go for 30 to 60 minutes, right? Where it's in the middle of the day, get that vitamin D exposure. But the big thing is it's low-level cardio and stress relief, and I think we all need that, okay? And again, you can do it anywhere, anytime, no excuses. You get oxygenated brain, get the blood pumping, and again, right, after about 5 to 10 minutes of getting oxygen and moving and listening to positive things, the thing is stress-free releasing. Now, if you are an athlete, you do need to do cardiovascular exercise 30 to 50 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. Now, 3 times a week, the higher the intensity. 5 times a week, the low intensity. 4 is great, right? That's according to NASM, right? 3, 4, or 5 times a week, total of 150 minutes of activity. Now again, you can go 3 times a week, higher intense activities, sprinting, HIIT training, interval training, right? Stuff like that. Interval training is like 1 minute on, 1 minute off. Okay, if you're gonna do intervals, I recommend if you're starting intervals, do like a 1 on, 5 off. What does that mean? If I'm just using round numbers, if I'm sprinting for 10 seconds, I want 5 times that. So that means 50 seconds off walking, resting, low intensity movement with 10 seconds of activity. That's a 5 to 1 ratio. As you get good, make it 4 to 1, 3 to 1, and then eventually you can go to 1 to 1 or invert it like the Tabata protocol where it's 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Okay? Now, Charles Poliquin has a good cycle of 8 seconds of resting. No, excuse me, 8 seconds sprint, 12 seconds off. So it's 8 on, 12 off, 8 on, 12 off. You do that for a total of 20 minutes. I think that's 60 rounds. That's a killer version too. Now again, if you're going to be truly sprinting, which is great for your hips, butt, hammies, quads, locomotion, power drills, I definitely like the 1 on, 5 off. So if I'm going for 10 seconds full throttle, I like the 5 off. Now if I'm going to do full-fledged sprints, I'll do like 10 to 20 second sprints, even a full 3 minutes of recovery, because that's just like a bout of weight training, right? If I'm going to maximum squat 3, 4, 5 reps heavy, or deadlift, or bench, or row, if I'm going to do a heavy 1 to 5 reps, I need 3 to 5 minutes of full recovery for my nervous system to fully recover. Okay? Same thing with sprinting, right? I would do 3 to 5 minutes of resting. 10 to 20 seconds of full out brutal sprints. And again, most likely your sprints are going to take 10 seconds, no longer than that. Otherwise, you're really not sprinting, with a 3 to 5 minute recovery. And again, I would do that interval for no more than 20 minutes. Because if you can do that more than 20 minutes, you're really not sprinting. Now, for a general health fitness person getting into athleticism and athletes already starting to kind of dance with this stuff, I wouldn't do 100% full throttle. Okay? Anywhere between 90, 95% full intensity, even 80 to 95%. I always kind of back off a little bit, right? For safety purposes, right? Anything full throttle 100% all the time, there's a higher risk of injury. If I back it down to like 90, 95%, there's slightly less risk of injury. I'm still training very hard. Now again, right, if you're weight training 85% intensity up to 100%, you're still gonna get that maximum training effect. I like that same principle with sprint work. Okay, I'm old now, I'm 44. I tear everything instantly. So I really focus on just walking, stretching, and 3 to 4 times a week of brutal strength training for me. I'm not an athlete, I'm just a general health and fitness practitioner. So I love walking, stress management. But if I wasn't a sprint, I would do that when I train my athletes. Okay? Cool. And again, right, in a perfect world, right, walking you should be able to do every day, 15 to 30 minutes every day. Again, do 10-minute chunks. Maybe 10 minutes after breakfast, 10 minutes after lunch, 10 minutes after dinner, in a perfect world, to help with digestion purposes, blood sugar management, anti-diabetic effect, or get 30 minutes to 60 minutes a day, right? Bare minimum 5 times a week at that low intensity. Okay? If I'm going to do that power stuff, remember, scale it back, right? I'll do 3 times a week of those HIIT training, interval training, stuff like that. Because remember, you're sprinkling this in with weight training. So I'll maybe do Monday, Wednesday, Friday weights, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, interval HIIT type of cardio, and every day I would do mobility work, stretching, range of motion, type of stuff like that. Now again, if you're going to do the walking thing, walk every day. Walk after your weight training. If you want to use walking as a warm-up, I'll take 10 minutes of walking before I do my weight training, kind of really get that posture, blood flow, feeling good. And remember, walk where 2 things happen, right? You're just using it for stress management. You can easily talk like I'm doing. Or if you want more of a cardiovascular effect, I want you to be able to talk, but maybe you're kind of panting a little bit, right? And then maybe go for some hills. Like I said, do that ruck. Now let's go to the fitness, from the fitness aspect to the financial aspect. My favorite thing after being debt-free, remember we talked about baby step 2 is finishing your snowball debt. Debt 3 is your 3 to 6 months of liquid cash. Now we're going to retirement, baby step 4. One of my favorite things that I really understood was paying yourself first. After you budget for your finances, the first thing is you pay yourself first. I always save 10% of every paycheck. If it's a large paycheck, if it's a small check, I try to get 10% in there. Right now I'm on a weird time because I'm starting just random part-time work, so my salaries are kind of like fluctuating, and I'm trying to learn how I go. So I'm just kind of, right now I'm just saving anything I can because I am debt-free. I have about a year's worth of liquid cash, emergency fund, and right now as I'm doing this pizza delivery thing while I'm sending out resumes, I'm kind of just saving what I can. But when I'm steady salaried and full-time job, I always save 10% of my salary liquid cash. Even though that's baby step 3, I'm always going to save something for future. You need tires, you need oil changes, you need car repairs, right? So I'm saving that 10% on top of my 15% for retirement. So pay yourself first. Number 1, do the 4 walls, right? Food, utilities, water, electricity, garbage, whatever it is. Okay, then rent, then your transportation, car payment, and insurance. But if you're like me, if you're after baby step 2, there's no car payment, so it's just gas and insurance. That's the ultimate, right? That's your ultimate bare bones budget. Food, overestimate on food, because I was a typical dude that's frugal. I'm like, oh, I'll spend like $10. No. Okay, really maximize your food budget, because especially if it's you or wife or a husband and some kids, right? You're gonna have to make sure you eat and eat healthfully. Stop going out too, by the way, if you're in debt. According to Dave Ramsey, right? If you're in debt, you have no business going out to eat. Get your freaking life in check. Put the necessities first, wants later. Adults devise a plan and stick to it. Children do what feels good. So you gotta ask yourself, are you a child? So, number one, budget monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly for food first, then utilities, then rent, and then finally gas and car insurances. That's your 4 walls of survival. Okay? So you always have motivation and time and energy and a place to sleep to fight another day. Then, again, once you're debt-free, pay yourself first. I always try to save 10% of every paycheck and put that into a liquid cash emergency fund on top. Well, emergency fund, right? Because again, you're gonna have Christmas every December 25th if you celebrate Christmas, or you're gonna have Hanukkah every early parts of December. You're gonna always have a birthday. These events that people celebrate are always going to be happening, so plan for it. Those are not emergencies. Okay? So you have an emergency fund for emergencies, then you have a growing allocated growth fund that you're putting money into for life expectancy, and then you have retirement. Okay? So 10% of every paycheck post-tax should go to like a growing fund that's like an emergency fund for an emergency fund, or even purchases that you want to make for fun. Again, if you're out of debt and you have your retirement going, then budget for things you want. You can slow down intensity, according to Dave Ramsey, of building this wealth, because you're already kind of doing it, because you now need to live life. You afforded the ability to live life, right? Go out to dinner more, go buy a nice couch or car or whatever, but pay cash. Debt is dumb, cash is king, because we live in COVID, this pandemic that's happening, okay? If you don't have any customers, you don't have any revenue coming in, but you're debt-free and you have an emergency fund, you are known as at peace and confident while you go search for another job, okay? All right, folks, so that's today's rule, talking about the walking, the stress management, getting outside, vitamin D, sun, fresh air, and stress management, low-level intensity. And again, if you're an athlete, we talked about different types of interval training. Look up fartlek training. Look up various types of interval training. But again, remember, the dumbest thing to do is cardio only. The dumbest thing to do is not sleep, not eat right, manage that stress. Walking does most of that. Get your cardio in there, get your stress management there, right? Helps control some blood sugar spikes. But a well-rounded fitness program is strength training first, with flexibility, then get your walking in there, ramp up your cardio after that, unless if you're an elite athlete or you want to take your general health fitness enthusiast further, okay? But again, prioritize weight training. As you get older, strength training keeps your mobility, keeps your bone mass, your muscle mass, your AKA metabolism, and then strength for life. Finally, I just punch myself in the face, thumb in the eye. Okay, that's a, oh, I'm getting a call. Okay. Finally, save 10% of your salary every paycheck for growing funds and needs. All right, folks, have a great day.